I bought the biggest lot in Newcrest, so she doesn't have a whole lot of simoleons to build with, but are they little bees? How cute. She will probably be freezing her butt off because we are starting in spring, and we don't want this. No. Get. Held down the shift key instead of the control key. Just a little tip for you. The shift key, holding the shift key down will actually remove paint and decorations from your wall. We are going to build her a teeny tiny little starter home with she is going to have a bedroom, and that's going to be as big as it's going to get. Alright, we're not going to do anything fancy for her because she is going to go out and earn herself some money by earning herself a husband. And who knows who that first husband is gonna be. No, we don't want... well, not the kids' door. What am I looking for? This one. Something cute. Alright, let's get some siding going. I think we'll have just some plain white, little plain white house because that's all she can afford. And let's just some lots are terrible. You can see where the shadows go. Some lots are terrible with their lighting. So if you're building, sometimes if you're building on this lot, my best advice would be to set it to afternoon and spin the lot around, build from this direction and then spin it back again. But, you know, to make it look okay. Let's get her something cute. I think we might put a little porch on the front. Pop that down. And there you go. We've got a little bit of serenading in the background by a real life toddler who doesn't like to be left out of anything. How about one square in? Thanks. And the same here. And again, this is a really basic, come on, a very, very basic house because she is going to find herself someone to support her. Let's see if we took that down a notch. Only one. There we go. Okay, so we've got an okay. Let's have some eaves. And we might have a little bit of a front porch. And let's put a roof on that. Let's take that in one. And down one. Alright. How are we doing on money? How do we have white? This is the problem, is nothing is matching. That looks blue. Alright, let's... Okay. And let's raise her up a couple. Very cute. I mean, tiny, tiny, tiny. What can I say? It's not even cute. It's just tiny. It's somewhere for her to live until such times as she is able to obtain more money. And we will put some, I think we're going to try and match the brown around the door frame. let's see. Can we? Does that almost match? Almost does, I guess. Probably not matchy enough, but it is what it is. And let's get some windows for the bathroom. Okay, because this is a starter house, we're not concerned with it being too decorative or you know, particularly well decorated at this point. Let's get rid of the grid. Let's see what we've got as far as... Honestly, do you remember, guys, back in previous Sims editions where we could actually paint, I think, gosh, we could paint the foundations with the same whatever we used on the walls, and it was just much easier to make things match. Now, do we want to have that come in? I think we might have that come in just one, and we might have that come in a bit. Thank you. Alright. Okay. It's not looking too bad. It's not looking too flash. Well, let's see if we can get some dark brown to... Oh, too big. That was one further. There we go. Alright. It is a very, very plain, very, very simple starter house. We now have 8,000 simoleons. And we need a couple of internal doors. For that, we are just going to go something very simple. Alright. Now, I've said this previously in my other build tutorials, in that if you are going to build, or when you're building, to make sure you put some lights in so that you get a decent, a good idea of what the actual, the colour of things will be. Not, I'm not liking any of those for this. Something fairly neutral, because she doesn't, do you know what I mean? She's not concerned. This is all going to go, it's going to go to the great, whatever it is in the sky, when she's done with it. It will be knocked down and redone so many times that... no, I don't like that. No, I don't like that either. Alright. So I have to have it matching. I can't help it. And it, you know, this house is going to be knocked down and rebuilt so many times. It's going to be added on to this. This original structure won't remain. So, all right, we've got some basic wall colors. We're going to go and make sure there are two things that you need to make sure that your queen has. In my opinion, this is me playing the challenge. She needs a reasonable bed, and she needs a reasonable fridge. Okay, and you need to make sure, obviously, if you're going to try and work on your charisma points, you need to try and make sure that that you've got a mirror in the house, clearly. All right, so this futon, you can, it's identical to this one up here, but this one is not used, and this one will give you This one will take away from your comfortableness. This one won't, but the prices are massively different. However, this air mattress gives you the same amount of energy as the second-hand one. It's not a whole lot more expensive, and it gives you some stress relief. So, ladies and gentlemen out there, if you are choosing to play, oh, and you can, as you can see, if you were choosing to play this, I would suggest you check the statistics of of your items before you place them. Okay, now, and I've said it before and I forgot to do it myself because lighting, you need to get some decent lighting in, and these ones are pretty reasonable. They're reasonably cheap, and you can adjust the intensity and things once you're in live or live mode, depending on what you call it. So let's get some surfaces, because she needs a kitchen. She needs to learn to cook, because not only does she need to learn to cook pufferfish nigiri, she can also earn points for getting cooking points. So second-hand counters, they do look a little beat up as compared to these. They're a lot cheaper though, and I would highly recommend that you choose the second-hand ones, because we already know that we are going to be replacing all of this at some stage. So think of these as just a means to an end. This is not how her house is going to finish up. This is just how it starts. What am I looking for? Appliances, that's right. And again, that's a lot of money at the start to spend on a stove. There's not a whole lot of difference here, except like the price is, you know, it's a fair bit, but you also get a food quality and reliability bump up. So I would go for the better quality one over the second-hand one, and I would do the same for the fridge. I would go for the better quality one, just because it adds a little bit to the food quality, a little bit to the reliability, and your food is just going to last that little bit longer. And if you're like me, and maybe you've seen me playing the 100 babies, I like to keep a fairly well stocked fridge. Alright, so nothing flashed. Those windows really don't match. Just The Sims, please. Matching swatches across the board of everything. Is it too much to ask? Alright, so she has got a kitchen. We will put in a little sink in the kitchen, but before then I think we need to think seriously about her hygiene needs. Again, have a look at the difference between these. This one, it adds to your Sim's discomfort. It's a great price, but do you want to make your Sim uncomfortable when you're trying to do other things? So my best choice, my best suggestion would be to go for this one, the Modern Relief, just simply because it's not going to make them uncomfortable. It's not going to make them any, like, it's not going to help with their stress relief. It's just not going to make them more uncomfortable. And again, this one will make them uncomfortable, but this one, it's a little bit more, but it doesn't have that uncomfortable stat. And you don't want to make it harder for yourself when you're just starting out. You know, this is going to be a tough challenge, I hope. So, you know, you don't want to make it tougher on yourself. These don't really matter, but if you go all the way up here, have a look at the reliability of that sink as opposed to, look at that, reliability 9. It's not, at 210 simoleons, it's less than 100 simoleons more than that one. And look at the reliability of it. It's not going to break down as often. You will, if you read the rules, you'll see one of the rules is that your queen is not allowed to repair things. Not even before she gets married. So, and she can't call a repair service. She has to replace it. She has to pay the simoleons to replace it. So you want something that is reliable, or at least somewhat more reliable than the others. And sinks drive me batty. They are always breaking. Okay, so again, check the statistics. Gives you comfort. Do these give you comfort? You can see the comfort level is not changing until you get to here, and the price between there, 300, and here is a huge amount. So unless you are specifically looking for that kind of look, then choose something that looks more like a couch. You know, it doesn't have to be. You can choose the log if you want. But if you don't want to add to your difficulty level, then don't choose something that makes them so uncomfortable. Alright, now I'm not sure that that was exactly where I wanted to place it. There isn't going to be a whole lot as far as decorating is concerned. Again, check the dining chairs. They don't, not until here do you get a comfort level. Okay, so all of these cheap ones are all the same. They don't have a statistic. So just choose one from there that either suits your budget or suits your aesthetic. Don't stress over things that you can't fix. Let's just put those 3 chairs there. We will get her a little table. She may only have 2 chairs, we'll see. Let's get her a little dining table. I only want something small. And we will just pull it away from the wall a little bit. I have a little bit of a pet hate when I see furniture inside stuff, you know. I always pull furniture away from curtains and, you know, stuff like that. It's just because you know, it doesn't look realistic to me, a curtain going down through your couch. Just doesn't. So we have accent tables. We actually want to put something small to put a television on. So this one is probably our best bet. That can probably come in a little bit. Because we want our queen to have at least some enjoyment. Now you can see that there's a huge price jump between these 2 televisions. You know, there's also, don't dismiss the child's television out of hand. If you are interested in, if your sim has a comedy skill or has a comedy interest, don't dismiss it. They're still going to get fun out of it. It's still going to be a little bit reliable. But my best choice would be this one. Let's give you a white one just because. And let's not have her trying to look at a tiny little box. It looks a little bit cartoony like that, but yeah. Okay, so things that we now need to add. We've got all of the essentials. She's got somewhere to cook. somewhere to sit to eat. She's got a television to amuse herself. She can keep herself clean and her bladder, etc., empty. And she's got somewhere to sleep. Now the essentials. Essential number 1. Always put a smoke alarm in somewhere. Okay? Because you do not want your sim burning to death. You want that early warning system. Okay, now thermostat is also an essential because they will cry that they're too cold inside and they'll cry that they're too hot. But all jokes aside, you don't want to make them more uncomfortable. You want to make them more comfortable so that you can get on with doing all of the things that you need to do to torture them, if you know what I'm saying. In the bedroom, alright, what we need, what I consider essential, is curtains on the window, just because we are going for a little bit of a realistic look here, realistic-ish, and let's get them in yellow just to match the bed. Now yellow is not one of my favourite colours, so you know, ew, but if you like yellow, hey, that's great. I don't, and that's okay too. Do you know what I mean? How boring our world would be if we all like the same things. Alright, so let's go. As you can see, I have got all of the packs installed. So I have a fairly wide range of choices. I was hoping for something that might add to the environment. I saw that one. I don't really want anything like... Okay, so some of these sporting ones and some of these posters, fantastic. They're cheap. You can size them up. She is going to be a queen. What can I say? And as you can see, those spikes kind of stick into her pillows, so I'm going to move the bed out a little bit. And see if I can give her a little bit of... Okay. Alright, so we've decorated a little bit in here. It's not fancy. It's nothing special. And the final thing to add is, as I mentioned earlier, some kind of mirror. And choose something that will give you... you can always use a standing mirror if you wish, but choose something that will add not just your charisma skill, but something that will add not just to the skill, but to the aesthetic. For the purposes of this though, we're just starting out in the challenge. She probably doesn't need... No, that looks awful. And how many times, guys, girls, have you wished that you could take a mirror down and not just up? My hand's up. It drives me mental that you can't lower a mirror. It would be so cool to be able to put some mirrors, you know, lower down on the wall. Some of them are impossibly high, like they're higher than your sim's natural face. I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know why you can't take them down. So, oh, cool. I just was watching American Pickers last night, and I'm not American. Alright, we're going to do a little bit of a terrain paint, and I know she's got a letterbox all the way back there. No good for us. And we are not going to do anything fancy. I'll have the middle one. We are just going to give her a... Oh, come on. There. We're going to give her a little bit of a path to go to her front gate. And we're going to put her letterbox, because she's got to get some exercise. We're going to put her mailbox, letterbox. I don't know, what do you call them where you are from? Do you call them mailboxes? Do you call them letterboxes? The person who delivers the mail, do you call them the mailman? Mail person? Do you call them UPS? I don't know. And last but not least, I thought we just might change our little roof pattern just for something a little bit cute, so that you know a lady who knows what she likes lives here. Alright, so she has simoleons in reserve. This means that, as per the rules, if she holds an event, she can hire staff. If she wants to travel or holiday, not precluded by the rules, so you're free to do so, she can afford it. So there is, guys, a very quick, very simple starter house. This is our Helloween Queen Arcadia, and this is episode 0 of our Helloween Queen challenge. If you have watched this far and you are going to participate in the challenge, let me know. You can tweet me or tag down here with the hashtag Helloween Queen. Somebody suggested that I should make it the Helloween Queen, which I think is very clever. So by all means, tweet me what you're doing. I would love to watch your series if you're going to do them. This is it for episode 0. I will see you in episode 1, where we launch our takeover. Or I will see you on any of the other videos on my channel. Wherever you are today, whatever you are doing, I hope you have a good one.